Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5 a.m. The clocks have rolled back a little bit. We lost an hour, or no, it goes spring forward, fall back, right? Yep, that old adage. So our sleep can kind of get a little jacked up during these times when we're trying to get up early. And then we have an occasion where it's coming into the spring and then we have to roll back our clocks. I'm a little more excited about this than anything just because the spring weather and my God, just it being daylight longer. That improves my mood. I don't know about you. So having something to look forward to, maybe you're still laying in bed and you've been wanting to get up and you need some type of excuse. Well, maybe it's okay. Well, it's going to be lighter out during the day longer. I can take advantage of my afternoons and evenings, going outside, doing my own thing while getting up early enough, beating the sun up, hearing them roosters out, and getting a plan together on what you want to be doing. So if you're kind of just joining us right now, you want to be getting up. So today's agenda, we're going to keep it rather simple because I know a lot of us over the weekend and kind of rolling into Monday, and with the time change, this is usually when people slip up, sleep in, and that's why I'm excited to be accountable and have a show or an outlet for this. And say you're asking for yourself, okay, how can I create some type of leverage, some type of enjoyment, something that I can do to stimulate myself to kind of get up and get rolling for the morning. So let's not beat around the bush any day. We're going to keep today's tips pretty simple and straightforward and kind of just what I've been using and hopefully you can use to try to get up a little earlier in the morning. So rule number one, and we mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes, just setting the clothes out the night before. I set the clothes out just in the next room over where the exercise bike is at. So I get up, I go over to the other room because that's where the alarm clock is at. I should have started with that alarm clock placement. But yeah, setting the clothes out and having an alarm clock in another room. So when it goes off, you have to physically get up and go over and go do it. And anyone who says, oh, I'm not doing that, I wouldn't do that, probably doesn't have the true desire to get up in the morning. So just kind of understand that. Ask yourself, is this actually what I want to do? Would this actually benefit me to get up and go get after it and kind of start working on that side project I said I was going to start 2 months ago? So setting your clothes out, an alarm away from the bed. So you've just literally have to physically get up and get away from the bed so you can just have a couple minutes to kind of break that initial barrier of getting up of like, oh, it's so cold, I'm tired, I don't want to do this, and all of these like short-term emotions that are just kind of pulling you back and holding you back from what you want to be doing. So getting up, physically going over to the next room where you set your clothes. Excuse me. Set your clothes out. Have an alarm clock that you can turn off. The next thing I would say about the alarm clocks, apparently it turns out waking up to some type of sharp noise, most default alarm clocks aren't super great for you. I don't know the science behind this. However, maybe just playing a really fun song. Like I like to yesterday picked a song from MGMT, kind of fun pump up song, and just something nice in here instead of just on your alarm clock. Instead, some type of music, something fun to kind of want you to get into rhythm with it a little bit. So back to just personal example that's been working, getting up, going over to the next room, putting on the clothes that are set out, turning the alarm clock off, and then we have a spin bike that I jump on and at the lowest setting just kind of move my legs for about 1 to 2 minutes. Not much. I'm not saying I fully exercise. I do I am a big proponent of people who get up in the morning and get right into the exercise and knock it out, just because getting some type, if you're hydrated properly with enough, drinking enough water, and you get some movement going, it can make it really easy to kind of get up and not rely off of stuff like coffee, this and that, etc. So getting up, going over there, getting dressed, getting the alarm clock turned off, spinning on the bike a little bit. And then if you can do most people are pretty cold when they're getting up in the morning. And to avoid that, you can get these types of resistance bands. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this, but some type of nice resistance. We can do a couple warm-ups to show you. But just to get kind of my shoulders, my body up, I kind of go out like this, step on them, then kind of some shoulder raises, some arm rotations. Not a personal trainer, but familiar with a lot of these exercises. So get a personal trainer if you don't know one. Ask me. Hope maybe I can help find you one. They're but anyway, getting some type of exercise with the bands or whatever, maybe it's a bike, or you finding your groove. To essentially what I'm trying to get at is you figure out a way to get your blood moving and get yourself a little excited and happy to be up and getting after it in the morning. And there's going to be a section in this show kind of towards the back third of it that I want to bring up. I have a couple mentors, and I do pay for a couple coaches to kind of help better understand where I'm putting my time, what I'm doing with myself, getting it out there, and also just being held accountable to actually doing it. I was talking to my coach, and it's like, oh yeah, there's going to be the time change. I had a couple friends who came into town. You know, we had some drinks, played a lot of games, and stayed up rather late. I was like, I'm going to kind of struggle a little bit. And his advice back to me was, again, Tanner, don't focus so much on what time you're getting up in the morning versus what time you're going to bed. So at the end of the day, if it's week after week after week and you're still laying in bed, as we've been talking for the last 10 minutes, and you just can't get yourself up and out of bed, and you've tried and you know you want to, then going to bed earlier is probably going to override the tips and the tricks on the exercises and the movements and setting out clothes and those sort of things. Those things help, and you should do them because they save you time and make you more efficient and get the ball rolling easier, because you want to reduce as much friction as possible with that morning beast who you're trying to fight because the bed's warm and all this and that. Again, back to the point, going to bed earlier in a lot of ways is more important than getting up earlier, and the two aid each other, and thinking in those terms can be pretty helpful and pretty productive. Okay, so now we know to get up earlier, go to bed earlier. We know that the time's rolling back. Spring's around the corner, our opportunity to pounce, getting after the things we've said we've been wanting to do. So if you need that reminder, I'm out here doing it, baby. It's 5 a.m. Clocks are turning ahead. That don't matter. We're still on it. We're still getting up. We're still presenting ourselves. We're still holding ourselves accountable. And to end the show on a positive note, let's just talk about when you're getting up, a good practice is either to do some journaling, like to get up, get a few of my thoughts out on the paper. I just happen to come spit them back to you guys on the show and share them. So to make sure you guys know that I am living by what I'm saying I'm trying to do. So journaling and writing out something like, what are 3 things that you're grateful for? 3 things that you're grateful for. My first, I would say I'm grateful for my friends. Had some friends visiting this weekend, best friend, their family, just absolutely amazing. They got to hang out with my wonderful girlfriend and just, grateful to have supportive people who are just fun, invigorating around in my life. Next, I'm grateful for spring. Thank the Lord, dude. It has been so cold and dark, and this living in Illinois has been great for business, but for the weather, man, these winters suck. And excited for spring. It was 50 degrees out, 50, 60 degrees outside yesterday. It's sunny. It almost felt like my face got a little burnt. I was playing basketball with a friend outside. It was just so reinvigorating and just being out there. So get excited about the spring coming out and very, very grateful for the nicer weather to come. Lastly, I am grateful for my health. I just have been feeling really good lately, been cutting back on a few bad habits and going a little harder, such as yesterday. It was really, really nice out. So was running outside, working outside, just kind of getting some good movement and some good exercise. And then just even walking around the neighborhood after dinner last night when it was with the sunset and just getting some blood flowing. So I'm just beyond grateful to have the health and ability to do what I want to do. And if you're sitting in the same way, if you ever think back to a time when you were hurt or sick, and then unfortunately, sometimes those negative experiences are the only reference most of us use to understand how important health is. So if you have it, you got it. Understand it's the most important thing by a long shot, and not discrediting how important it is, and it takes maintenance and staying on top of it. So if you're still rolling in bed and you're tuning into the show, you get to click on this and you see the live notification, and you're just asking yourself, do I want to keep sleeping in? Is there anything I want to be doing that'd be more important than what I'm currently now? Don't be scared to be logical about the actions that you want to take. Because when you decide what it is you really want, such as the career, or maybe you want to get up early in the morning to give it a go, try it for 30 days. If you just take the logical approach, you write it out and you reduce as much friction as possible, such as setting out clothes, moving the alarm clock, and you try as hard as you can to do the little things in preparation to separate yourself for success. What's that Russell Wilson quote? The separation is in the preparation. So just setting it up, trying to reduce as much friction as possible, making it as easy on yourself. And remember that getting up is for you, that getting these side projects done and working on this stuff is for you. And chances are the entrepreneur police or some outside other realm isn't going to come and do this for you. This is your life. You're in charge of it. You're responsible for it. And thankfully, if you go out and you do this and you help people and you created something for yourself, that's usually where fulfillment lies. So we'll leave it at that. We're up, we're rolling, we're holding ourselves accountable. Tanner DeWitt, #1 performance coach. If you want to take your performance to the next level, there's a business idea that you've been wanting to pour into, you want to grow your business, or you just want a good deep dive on the things you're taking action on, and you want to be held accountable from where you are today to where you are trying to be tomorrow. No one did it alone, and all the great successes have coaches. Swear by this. So if you're ever interested, please, you can always go to talktotanner.com and see if our one-on-one coaching would be appropriate for you to improve your personal performance. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Staying at it, staying on top of it. Until next time.